speaking of history, today is the 75th anniversary of President Harry Truman's executive order ending segregation in the armed services and ending racial discrimination in federal hiring. Here he is making the case for civil rights as he became the first president ever to address the NAACP.
Our case for democracy should be as strong as we can make it. It should rest on practical evidence that we have been able to put our own house in order. For these compelling reasons, we can no longer afford the luxury of a leisurely attack upon prejudice and discrimination. There is much that state and local governments can do in providing positive safeguards for civil rights. But we cannot any longer await the growth of a will to action in the slowest state or the most backward community. Our national government must show the way.
Let's bring in author and NBC News presidential historian Michael Beschloss. Michael, good morning. So obviously this didn't happen until after the end of World War II. That was 1947. Right. President Truman speaking before the NAACP. Another extraordinary day in history.
It is, and every American should be aware of this today. And I know we have lots of holidays, but this, people are talking about history not being taught in various states. This is a date that everyone should know and remember. And remember that the atmosphere. Truman was talking to the NAACP in 1947. Franklin Roosevelt, who was thought of as a great progressive, never dared to do that. Roosevelt would not even support an anti-lynching bill of the kind that you were just talking about. Truman came out of a Confederate family in Missouri, second largest state in terms of lynchings, many years before World War II, and Truman was disgusted by the fact that black Americans who fought valiantly, risked their lives in Europe in World War II, were brought back, for instance, to Mississippi. And he heard of cases where they were thrown off Army trucks and beaten by white supremacist locals just so they wouldn't think because they had fought abroad meant that anything had changed in the way that they would be treated. But even as late as 47, Truman did nothing about desegregating the armed forces. A year later, why did it happen today? Well, Truman was a fair person. He was a decent person. He wanted to do this, but also there was a political reason, which oftentimes underlies the best decisions. Truman had just come out of the Democratic Convention. He was running for president for re-election in 48. There were progressives led by Henry Wallace, Dixiecrats, right-wing Southern supremacists led by Strom Thurmond. He was convinced by his advisors that the only chance that he would have to be elected president in 1948 with this four-way split, and that has a lot of resonance this year when we are hearing about third parties, Truman said, all right, I'm going to do this because it's right, desegregate the armed forces, but also will bring the Democrats to victory, which it did.
Michael, talk about how Thurmond and others then really left the party of the Dixiecrats. And Truman stood up, yes, for political reasons, but he stood up and did things that Roosevelt didn't do. And I'm not taking anything away from Roosevelt and the New Deal. But Truman took some, the day we take for granted when presidents or vice presidents speaks at any of our organizations, NAACP, Urban League, National Action Network, it doesn't matter. But to go to the NAACP in 47 was something that wasn't just a first, like everyone was applauding. It was a risky and bold move.
No, it was a profile on courage. And Rev, what the Democratic Party, which was very different then from what it is now, up until into the 1950s, the Democratic Party was largely Southern, white supremacist, throwback, racist, certainly against integration. So for Truman to speak to the NAACP, and even more than that, to desegregate the armed forces, he was saying to the Democratic Party, we've got to change. 1924, the Democrats met in convention, a convention dominated by delegates owned by the Ku Klux Klan. 1924. But Truman's move meant that Many black voters would come into the Democratic Party, and decent-thinking people and progressives, and that led directly to the early 1960s, when presidents like John Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson would fight even harder for civil rights and make the Democratic Party a lot more progressive. Could I add one more thing?
Yes.
You know, we look at this as almost inevitable, but as late as the 1950s, Adlai Stevenson in '52 was compelled to choose a white supremacist running mate, John Sparkman, senator from Alabama. 1960, the state that went for John Kennedy and the Democrats by a larger margin than any other was Georgia. And these were racist white voters in Georgia who were telling Kennedy, we're voting for you because we want the solid south of the old racist Democratic Party. It's all changed, thank God.
And it's all connected. Executive Order 9981, signed by Truman on July 26, 1948, desegregating the United States military. Michael Beschloss, thank you so much, as always. We should point out today in Washington is the beginning of the Truman Civil Rights Symposium, a 3-day event to commemorate this very anniversary.